Welcome to my LGBT lesbian channel. The series Checkmate, Stripper and Dance for Me are voiced for you in full history. Thank you for your comments, reactions and subscription to my channel. Have a nice day everyone. Yes, we are. My name is David. I'm in charge of taking you to the sectors that you'll need. Wasn't it supposed to be John? I asked with doubt. Mr. Lancaster can't come today, so I was assigned to help in case you need something. I frowned at the man. He must be some intern looking to accomplish in the best way possible his job in there. His nervousness could give me agony. David, your services are not required. I raised my head, closing my eyes as soon as I heard that familiar voice flood the environment. This can only be a freaking joke. I turned facing the entrance of the building, staring at the Latina who was walking towards me. Camilla had a smirk on her face and a penetrating and amused look. Her high heels made a soft noise on the marble floor. Agent Yaregui, she said when she stopped in front of me. Mrs. Collins. -1 greeted her with my eyes fixed on hers. Cabello, you can call me Mrs. Cabello. Camilla, or rather, Mrs. Cabello was wearing a blood-red dress of thick straps and a beautiful cleavage. The noble fabric had a perfect fit on her body, being shaped by the curves of the brunette's body. As you wish, Mrs. Cabello. I'll accompany you today. John had a little health problem, and he can't come. I don't want to disturb you. I can go with David, I suggested. I insist, Lauren. I swallowed hard, letting my eyes fall weakly on the flashy cleavage of the woman. I shook my head quickly and stared at Allie. This is Agent Brooke, she will help me with the case. Camilla gently extended her hand to the shorter Anne, who politely shook it. Nice to meet you, Agent Brooke. Allison, this is Mr. Collins' wife. Nice to meet you, Mrs. Cabello, Allison said smiling. So, follow me, girls, I'll take you to the sectors you need. Camilla walked ahead, giving me the damn view of her back. I didn't have the slightest possibility of concentration with that woman in the same environment as me. She had some kind of sexual attraction that filled my eyes in an almost colossal way. I closed my eyes for brief seconds when we entered the elevator, and thank God, or rather, Allison, we stood far enough. Where do you want to go first? To the financial sector. We need a more detailed report of the last months. Camilla nodded and pressed the button of the elevator panel. The doors closed, giving only the view of all the floors of the company. From there we could see all the frantic movement of that place. Through the mirror I could see Camilla's reflection, who stared at me in the same way, smiling cynically. Damn it. She had a well-done makeup, highlighting her brown eyes and her fleshy mouth that was covered by a lipstick of the same color of her dress. We are here, she said as soon as the elevator stopped. Allison and I quickly walked towards Collins' financial sector, where we were received by a group of people that would help during the gathering of the reports and balance sheets. Camilla, to my relief, left the room for a few minutes, leaving me in enough peace of mind for me to focus. Collins' financial transactions have always been linear, until the abrupt disruption with the lack of $500,000. Whoever stole it didn't have the slightest shame to leave an immense hole in the system. The amount was duly removed without any trace of destination. The account to where it was transferred was non-existent to the system. The person who stole it was subtle as a bazooka, Allie said laughing. That was what I thought when I saw it. He didn't even have the sense to cover the hole. He just took the money, almost asking to be discovered. Yes, but who stole it was smart enough to make the destination of the money practically invisible. I don't know, Lauren. I want to take a look at the system. I'll thoroughly analyze everything. There's no way that the money left without leaving a trace. This one seems to have. It could be a system error. If it is, we have to blame the owners of the program. Allie spoke as she stared at the papers in her hand. You want to go the control sector? You'll be able to get better information. Yes, I do. Have you finished here, girls? Camilla asked, scaring me. I looked back, and she was near the door with her eyes on us. We'd like to go to the system's central control room. Come with me. We were accompanied by Camilla and one of the technicians to the central control room. There Allison and I had access to the system's settings, under the supervision of the technician that showed us everything thoroughly. This program is one of the best in the country. It scares me that it doesn't show the destination of the money. I already worked with it before, and it always has all the information. It doesn't even look like it was breached, Allie said. We have the breach of the day when the amount disappeared. The technician spoke serenely. Yes, only that one. The person who stole it must be too good with this, because she simply deleted the destination of the money. Obviously leaving the huge hole. But you need to know the system to know how to delete such information. Brooke, that's not something difficult for these sons of B. I quickly closed my mouth as soon as I realized what I was saying. There's no sign? Camilla asked. So far no, but I'll examine the complete transactions of that day. I'll find some error. There's no perfect crime, Allison said, laughing. Indeed, I agreed. Where can I find it? Allie asked. The tall blonde raised his hand. We have to go to billing. There's where the detailed transactions are. Okay, I'm going there with him. You can finish downloading of the program. We'll do some simulations. Of course, I'll stay, I said calmly until I noticed the crap I was doing. Allison. It was already too late. The shorter one had left the room and leaving me completely alone with Camilla. I closed my eyes and shook my head until I stared at her. Do you think that you can unravel this, Agent Yaregui? The brunette walked slowly towards me. I'm sure I can, Mrs. Cabello. It's a difficult case, but not impossible to be unraveled, I said, trying to keep my attention on the computer program. I imagine so. You seem to be very competent at what you do. My eyes analyzed every movement that the woman did. The Latina looked like a predator that at any instant would capture his innocent prey. I do? I asked, staring at her. Camilla circled the table, standing on the same side as me. She smiled and sat on the table, right next to me. Too close. Yes, you seem to be too competent, Lauren. The woman who before was looking at me, raised her head, staring at the window wall behind me. Agent Brooke also seems to be a great officer. She really is, one of the best. I spoke somewhat uncomfortable. Mrs. Cabello crossed her legs, letting her thigh completely showing through the extensive slit of her red dress. She had a damn soft and smooth skin that my hands yearned to touch. It was at least too tempting to have her so close in such a small and hot room. This room is hot, I spoke unfocused. She curved her lips into a smile. I agree with you, Lauren. Camilla slightly arched her head back, letting her dark locks fall back, freeing her shoulders and her neck. My eyes fixed on her collarbone, then on her neck and on the thick vein it had. It could be crazy, but that seemed to be in slow motion. You are fucked, Lauren. Don't you want to turn on the air conditioner? I asked, still with my eyes on her body. I brought my hand to the remote control that was on the table, when she quickly placed her hand on mine. My eyes fixed on hers, which stared at me shamelessly. Was it possible to say that I felt hot under the eyes of that brunette? It had a problem earlier today. It won't work, Camilla said before throwing the remote control on the couch. Awesome. We can open the window, I said, getting up quickly. I needed space. I needed to keep myself far away from the tempting body of that woman. Only God knew what my thoughts were creating now, God and the devil, or rather, Camilla. Some fresh air will be welcomed, I said, trying to open the window, which by pure bad luck was jammed. It's jammed. I forced the iron material that seemed to not even move. I tried one last time, but it remained jammed. I sighed, defeated and nervous enough for being in a too promising environment for my wildest thoughts. Lauren, focus, she is just a woman, like any other. I turned to face the brunette, having the sight that would send to shit all that thought. Camilla was still sitting on the table, with her long and toned legs crossed, being easily shown through the huge slit of her dress. She delicately blew the valley between her breasts, which were evident through the brazen cleavage of her dress that in this instant was being pulled forward. Bitch. A lock of her hair fell on her face, making her raise her head, while one of her hands went towards her hair, bringing it all to one side. Is there a problem, Lauren? She asked with a fucking smirk. Problem? Feeling the urge to fuck you wholly on top of that table is a problem, Mrs. Collins? No, ma'am, I said, swallowing hard. Good, she said as she got up from the table. You seem somewhat uncomfortable, Agent Yaregui. Oh. If you like that I voiced the continuation of the series Stripper and want me to continue, please like and write a comment on the video. This will be an incentive to continue working on translation and dubbing.